Welcome, everyone, to PFL Breakdown 2025 World Tournament 5. Main event is Jason Jackson and Thad Jean. We're going to break down each one of these fights. It's PFL, so there's going to be a lot of favorites that we like, but there are some good underdog spots, so we're going to get right into it. If you guys could, please hit the like button. If you're watching this on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel, thank you so much for subscribing. Really, really appreciate it. We're over 1,100 subscribers, building this thing up small and organic. So subscribe to the channel. You get notified when all of our videos come out. It is a huge MMA month, not a huge MMA week. This is a big month, and we're running a special. We'll tell you about that in just a minute, but let's get into the fights here. So, Jim, we'll start here about a Magomed, Umalatov against Anthony Ivy. I mean, the records kind of tell you everything. You got 17-1 Umalatov against Anthony Ivy. What's the breakdown on this fight?
Well, Umalatov was originally slated to fight Koreshkov, which I was salivating over, especially after Koreshkov got the unmerciful beating from Jason Jackson after the illegal strike to the back of the head. I mean, you could just tell he was not there. So that was going to be a real nice spot for him. Instead, he gets Anthony Ivy, and it's still a nice spot. Umalatov should win this fight. He's obviously a huge favorite at this point. You're going to have to stake your claim on whether you think he gets the finish or it's a decision. Now, what I will say about Anthony Ivy is he's a veteran. He's a veteran. He knows how to get out of some hairy situation. And we haven't seen Umalatov really be a giant finisher. This win streak of Anthony Ivy is great. It's not against the best level of competition. And if you look at it, it's all finishes. So he's kind of finish dependent to get a win here. I don't think he's going to decision Umalatov. That being said, Umalatov has to respect the danger with this man, even at his older age and, a little bit of a padded record. So I think Umalatov is going to stay safe and just win a very dominant decision here. If Umalatov does not miss weight, he's the favorite to win this tournament. So he may come out and make a statement. These guys are fighting to be an alternate if somebody pulls out. So you do have to kind of win in style, but I just don't see Magomed really pushing that. I think he cruises to a decision here against Ivy.
I like the over as well, and yeah, Ivy's tough. He's not gonna roll over. So, and yeah, you're right. Umalatov is kind of not really. It hasn't really shown that I go back to that Gracie fight, the Neiman Gracie, where he gets the choke of Brennan Ward, who basically gave up before the fight even started, and then. I don't know. It wasn't even really close to finishing Gracie, and then, gets finished by Masayuki. So I like the over in that one. So I can't even pronounce this guy's name. 2 J's and a last name is too much for me here. But he fights Landu here. We got 9-1 versus 21-9. What's your take on this featherweight fight?
Well, Adjoudj.
Well done. Okay.
I do my research.
That's good.
He's a highly touted prospect. He's had some fights in Bellator. He fought Jose Perez in PFL at the championships. He's okay. He's not really amazing at everything. I mean, this is a bit of a David and Goliath matchup. You have the young fighter at 9-1 who really hasn't had a large level of competition. And Yves Landu, even though he's a seasoned vet and been around for a while, his record is pretty impressive. He's fought some legitimate guys. So, look, the level of competition is what really scares me in this. Could he spring the upset? It's going to have to be something absolutely outrageous, or it's going to have to be Landu just slipping on a banana peel to win this fight. I think he's pretty safe to parlay. I like Landu in this spot. And again, same thing. I like the over. I like this fight to go the distance. It's just not in Yves Landu's character to push for a finish here. And Adjoudj, fairly untested against this level of competition. Both guys from France. And you know how I feel about French fighters. They're very good, but they're patient, and they stick to their style. So when you match two of them up, now I'm really salivating for an over in this spot because they're just going 2-point fight. That is the French savant style. No matter what discipline you train in France, you have those training partners. It's what you're used to.
Yeah, I don't know too much about these guys. It wasn't really a fight I was interested in, but yeah, I'll probably be waiting for some of these totals to come out. So we'll move to Jason Donner against Nathan Gilmore. 2-0 Donner. I always get worried when I see a guy that's had 9 fights and he's lost 5 of them in Nathan Gilmore. So Donner's going to be the pick for me. He's a pretty big favorite, minus 325. But, I mean, you got Gilmore beating somebody that's 0-4, 1-5, 1-0. So that's kind of all I need to know. Raw Dog, that is quite the nickname. Donner here. And
You better trademark that. Brandon Royval's going to be a little upset.
Yeah. And even though he's 2-0 in professional bouts, I like all the amount of amateur, fights. So it's not like this guy's like coming in with absolutely no experience whatsoever. So Donner will be the pick for me. My guess is by finish. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. If we go to Nathan Gilmore, I just want to show you something here. This is a red flag to me. Okay, let's look at his canceled bout. Who he was supposed to fight.
Okay.
Go on Namos Cruz for me, shall we?
Oh Lord. Oh wow.
1-6.
That's who he was going to fight, huh?
This is who this man was going to fight.
Okay.
I don't know what stopped him from getting to the cage. Hopefully it's on the Cruz side, because I will go in and fight a 1-6 guy on one leg to get a paycheck if I have to. So I think there's a bit of a streak and a trend here of taking fights to get a paycheck, and I think Donner's going to roll in this one. So yeah, 4-5, you're taking fights to get a paycheck for sure. You're not going to be some miraculous comeback, and you're going to be 10-5.
No,
just not happening.
Alexei Pergande and Mike Bardsley. I mean, Pergande's now over minus 1,000. We love the potential of this guy. Very patient. You and I kind of had you like the under, I like the over in this one, but Pergande can do it all, man. On the ground, he's good. Striking, he's good. He just needs more experience and a little bit more fine tuning. How old is Pergande? Yeah, 24.
Yeah.
In 3 or 4 years, I think this guy's going to be a problem. His skills are only going to get better. I think he's going to add a little bit more power and a little bit more muscle. So Bardsley's 5-1, but I was able to find a couple of his fights, and even though he's got finishes, the guys he were fighting was pretty terrible. So I think Pergande makes this look pretty easy. I like him by decision, but I'll let you chime in on why you like the under a little bit.
Well, I'm waiting for the totals to come out, because if they give us a 1.5, don't like that. I'm looking for the 2.5. That's what I'm looking for, because Pergande is patient. He is. You hit the nail on the head. This kid is good everywhere, and he knows he's good everywhere. So there's no anxiety. There's no rush to move from position to position. Wherever this fight goes, he can hang. And here's what I love about him. Look at his record. You're not going to see 0-7. All right? His first fight, I believe, was 0-0, 0-0. But then look, 3-1, 4-2, 4-2, 5-1 now with Bardsley. They're not throwing him chumps. Look at the amateur, 4-0. Like, he doesn't fight chumps. He's been built the right way. These guys that he's fighting aren't amazing, okay? But he's done his job. Mike Bardsley is a tough guy, okay? He made it to round 2 against Brian Zurcher. Now, Brian Zurcher got finished in his last fight, so a bit of a fraud check there for that young man, and has trouble getting to the cage. But I think he's tough enough to get out of the first round and into the second. Once it's in the second and Pergande knows where he's dominant, he is not going to mess around. He is going to go to where he's dominant. If he's winning on the feet, he will win on the feet. If he's winning on the ground, he's going to take him down and go to the ground. The guy for his age is so mentally efficient, and just another dude who was brought up in MMA. No discipline, just understands the sport of MMA. I wouldn't be that round 3. If you have this fight to go the distance, I think it's going to be a little worrisome, because I don't know if Mike is going to be able to hang with him in round 3. But yeah, 1.5. I'll take the over too. I'll kind of so go with you on that one.
Okay. We mentioned that we have a special that is up. We're really focusing on MMA. Just, every week we do a deep dive on our units and where our money's been going and what's been working. And it's MMA this year, guys. It's been our number 1 sport as far as profit. So tennis, I believe, is a close second. But yeah, MMA, we're number 1 at Wager Talk, plus 32 units. And Jim started off the year 5-2 in PFL. So we're doing really, really well. So we're running a special 30 days. I keep saying that this price is insane, because it is. It's 30 days for only $99. That would be good if it was just UFC, but the next few weeks we have PFL and UFC. So Do not miss out on this. This special's kind of insane. You're going to get all the plays that we bet with our own money. We already this week alone we have a 5% and 4% plays that are up, along with 2 underdogs. In addition to that, so these are plays that we bet with our own money. I've upped how much I'm betting in this sport and in tennis just because it's been going really, really well for us. So it's a dog days of summer. NHL, NBA is winding down, but man, we're going to keep cashing in MMA. So take advantage of that. There's no promo code needed. Just go to my page, wt.buzz/AL. Again, no promo code needed. 30 days for only $99. All right, let's move on to where are we? Oh, Kendly St. Louis. Berkhamov. So he got smoked by Thad Jean. He had his moments though. He just, Thad Jean's a killer, and all it takes is one shot from Thad Jean. So I don't know, Berkhamov. He's good, but he just doesn't kind of strike that fear into people. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're never terrified of him. Split decision over Ray Cooper, unanimous, over Herbert Torrado. So, loses to Larkin. That being said, I've watched Kendly fight, and it's just not a lot of substance there, Jim. It's low volume. There's nothing real unique about it. He's not going to surprise anybody with, he's just kind of a journeyman. He is what he is. I haven't seen hardly any improvement despite this, big winning streak. He's serviceable. He's going to fight for your dollar for sure. But I'm not betting on him. I've got Berkhamov. I can't even say his name. Mukhamed. I got him by decision. I think Kendly hangs in there, but I think this is another kind of a decision where Berkhamov closes it out kind of late. So I just don't see enough. I just don't see enough diversity, and I don't see enough, complicated attacks from Kendly to make this get the win here. What do you think?
Berkhamov coming off the knockout loss. Usually we don't like to pick fighters that are coming off a knockout with PFL because it's usually about 3 months of recovery, and then you got to fight again. But in this situation, I just can't put my money behind St. Louis.
Yep.
I have the fear for him that he is going to think. Now, Mukhamed is not one of these Dagestanis and Russians that is a wrestling juggernaut. You're going to look at his name.
This is not a Khabib. No. This is not one of Khabib's guys.
He's more of a striker. Now, he can wrestle, all right, but he is definitely more of a striker and more of a point striker. I have a feeling that St. Louis is going to try to push the wrestling. And Berkhamov's good enough to not let it happen. That's the key. He's got really tricky sweeps from the bottom. So if St. Louis does get a takedown, I wouldn't be shocked to see him get reversed at some point. I think St. Louis is going to tire himself out, and at that point he's going to be a sitting duck on the feet, and Berkhamov's just going to do what he has to do to get the win here. Respect what you're saying about the decision. This really all depends on the game plan of St. Louis. If he goes all in to try to get this guy out with the damaged chin and get the wrestling, and he doesn't get it, he could be in a world of hurt in round 2 and round 3. Because Berkhamov needs to respond and respond well to stay in the good graces of PFL.
All right. Let's moving on to Joseph Luciano and Shields here. 10-3 versus 6-2. Let me see what the lines are at here. So Luciano's minus 298. You were saying you're worried that this fight may not even take place here, I think. So if it does, how do we break this one down?
Well, Sarek Shields is a juggernaut. He is a crash-forward boxer-wrestler. Not a lot of technique behind it. I don't believe he's competed since, actually had a fight since 2024, mid-2024. He had a couple fights canceled. They pulled, he just does nothing special, okay? I think he leaves his neck out there in his wrestling, and if there is somebody that you do not want to do this again, it's Joseph Luciano. Logan Storley put down a clinic on Luciano, who had, 2 days' notice to prepare for Logan Storley, one of the best wrestlers in MMA. So just losing proposition for Luciano. Respect to him for stepping up on it. He was an alternate anyway. So, he didn't get finished by Storley. You could definitely tell it was a learning experience. After the fight, he's just like, okay, there's levels to this. Luciano's submission grappling is absolutely fantastic. And Sarek Shields does not know how to stay safe when he wrestles. I like Luciano by submission in this spot.
Oh,
The
okay.
number's getting a little out of control on the money line. I don't know if I want to lay 298, but this guy is a finisher when he gets his finishes. So, or when he gets wins. So I think that's coming with him. I'm going to take Luciano. I'm going to take him by submission. I think at some points he catches Shield when he sticks his neck out on a sloppy takedown. It's going to be very easy to lock it up.
Yeah, under.
Under. There you go. Why did I even say anything?
You could tell
You're
the
right,
judges
under.
to go take a bathroom break or something. Their services will not be needed there. So, if you're liking what you're hearing, guys, go ahead and hit the like button and leave a comment in the comment section. I'm pretty sure I completely butchered someone's last name. Leave a comment and let me know which one that I absolutely just railroaded. My God, what a long day. Horrible pronunciation. It just occurred to me what I said. All right, let's move on to Jeremy Kennedy and Adam Borics. I think we're ready to fade Borics. We talked about guys getting knocked out. He got thumped in April, and it's hard. It's hard to say. Well, I like Jeremy Kennedy because he just loses in these really close ones. I feel like the floodgates are ready to open for this guy. He almost beat Khaybulaev. Almost handed him his first loss. Loses to Braga, but he went the distance against Braga. A lot of guys don't do that. Got finished by Pitbull when we found out he was a fade the baby theory. Remember that? I think he's gotten better, and I think this is the perfect time for him to work his clinch game, grind out some minutes, and grind out some rounds, and maybe we get a good elbow or knee and test that chin. Boric, I have Jeremy Kennedy as the underdog. What do you think?
I am right there with you. A lot of people are liking Kennedy this week, which was shocking. I thought people were going to just write him off.
Yeah.
But I'm with him. This is a just got knocked out, and now you're fighting again fade with Adam in this situation. He took a clean shot from Pinedo, and he's not one to get knocked out. So, yeah, I know Pinedo hits hard, but there's a lot of fights. That damage might be starting to pile up here. I don't think that chin is any better than it was a year ago. It's just Adam is such a slow starter. He tries to start fast, and he just leaves himself way wide open. It's like, if I asked you, what does Adam do great? Can you name something?
No. I mean, you brought it up, he's 19-3, but these fights are going the distance. The last one didn't, but it's decision. So he's eating 15 minutes worth of wear and tear in a lot of these fights. I don't really know what he does amazing, and I think you could say that about a lot of PFL fighters, but yeah, he doesn't really have a personality of a fight. Like when you mention him, I don't have a picture in my head of what he looks like. Now I do have a picture of Jeremy Kennedy, pushing him up against the fence, landing some good strike. I think I know what the game plan is going to be. So, and you're right, this line is crashing. He was close to plus 200. Now he's down to plus 145 on DraftKings. So
this is a rematch too. Borics won the first fight.
Yep.
It was a while ago. If you ask me which fighter has made improvements, it's Jeremy Kennedy.
Jeremy Kennedy looked like a child in that fight.
He did,
just
right?
Where's all of his muscles?
I think all the motivation is on the Kennedy side. I mean, after losing those close fights too, getting a guy that you lost to already, what more do you need if you're Jeremy Kennedy?
Yeah.
So this is one last ride with Jeremy Kennedy, and if it doesn't happen, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Well, he's going to be done.
He might be done too.
He might be
you're
done.
Right.
So we'll move on to the undefeated Movlid Khaybulaev against Thai Kyun Kim. I'll let you go first. What do you think?
Well, Khaybulaev gave everybody a heart attack and high blood pressure his last fight against Kennedy.
Yes, he did.
I don't care who said ring rust is real. Anybody who tells you that ring rust is not real, they are lying or they've never fought. Ring rust is a real thing, and Khaybulaev showed that against Kennedy. Got caught in the beginning of the fight just sleeping. And Kennedy came out with the perfect game plan. Get on him early. Get him, pressure him. Have him react to it. And then he worked his way back into the fight. As that fight went on, you saw the skill start to come back. You saw the disparity. Now, again, a lot of fights for Khaybulaev. Is he a top 20 fighter in the world? Maybe. We just had this argument about Patchy Mix. He turned out not to be a top 10 fighter or the best, bantamweight on the planet. I just don't know what to make of Kim in this spot. I would trust Jeremy Kennedy way more than I would trust Kim. 11-1 with this level of competition. I got questions. I just got questions. Who are these guys? Their records are great. They're shiny. But who are these guys?
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen any of them anywhere else. So I think the ring rust has knocked off Khaybulaev. I think he comes out much faster and sharper in this fight and does what he needs to do. But again, I think it's a decision. So we might worry if he, gives away a round in the second here and Kim could do something. I would think that Kim's going to want to use his size. He's going to be the bigger fighter. We did see Khaybulaev held up against the cage. That's why he's kind of a no bet for me. But I will pick him to win in this spot.
I worry about this one. Khaybulaev, the split decision, he was one judge and one round away from, losing that. I didn't think he looked that great. And, Kim has got decent wrestling. And, what was his one loss? It was in Brave to a guy whose last name ends in a V. So, I'm not going to put too much into that. Thought he looked good against Nathan Kelly. And I just, I don't want to be laying this price on Khaybulaev. And I think it says a lot that the guy that's undefeated 22-0 is only minus 225. I think the books are telling.
Terrified.
This is a stay away for me. There's way too many really good favorites on this card to risk a minus 225. I just didn't think he looked very good against Kennedy. I thought there were a lot of red flags in that one. So maybe it looks completely wrong. Khaybulaev cruises, but this one I'm a little worried that I could see Kim actually winning some of the wrestling exchanges. So I'm not betting on Kim, but it's definitely going to be a stay away for me.
Hey, listen, you want to learn how to lose money in MMA? Have a bet on every fight. That's how you turn a winning week into a losing week. Have to have a bet on every fight, so it's okay to pass.
Yeah. We're moving on to Logan, Storley, and Kikuiri. Storley, it's pretty simple. Can Storley get the wrestling going? If he does, it's going to be a 3-round ass kicking. If he can't, fight's going to be really interesting. How do you see this fight going down?
You said it best with Logan Storley's losses.
Yeah.
What was it? He's only lost to somebody with an OV.
He's only lost to guys whose names end in a V.
Yeah. Let's scroll up. Refresh my memory. Does the Asian guy's name end in a V?
It does not. It ends in a vowel.
Okay.
It ends in a vowel. So
11-2-1. He's just never seen this level. Logan Storley will forever go down as one of my most frustrating, aggravating fighters because if he's going to win, it's going to be a horrible fight. In his defense, the fight against Luciana was an absolute clinic, and I actually enjoyed the wrestling. But when Logan is grabbing at ankles from 10 feet away and just holding somebody there, and there's no mat return, that's when I get a little frustrated watching Logan Storley fights. If you're a Logan Storley bettor, you're real happy. You want the most boring fight possible that you could find. I just don't believe that Kikuiri has seen this level of wrestling. Logan Storley is talked about in the MMA community, extremely respected and extremely high as far as his wrestling pedigree. And I will say, going into this tournament, we kind of thought he was done. He has looked very, very reinvigorated at his age. He was debating whether or not he even wanted to enter this tournament. And it sure looks to me like him and his coaches said, look, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it. We're not showing up for a paycheck here. We're showing up to win the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And that's what it seemed like with Storley. So I could think he continues to move on to the next round. There will be a time to fade Logan. I don't believe it is now. So I like Logan in this spot. I'm thinking it's a Logan Storley fight. You got to take decision if you think Kikuiri can somewhat defend a choke. But we've also seen Logan, if the choke's not there, he's just going to hold you there. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah, I do think Kikuiri's game. This guy he fought, this butcher, he was tired after the first minute. So don't put too much into that one. I've gone back and watched Kikuiri. He's got decent striking, but Storley's not going to let him strike for very long. And the books kind of agree. It's minus 850. So I think Storley by decision is a really good one. You're right. If the choke isn't there, Storley's not going to give up position just to try and search a finish. So. All right, we got the co-main and the main event. Again, guys, $99, get you 30 days of MMA plays. This includes 5% plays, PFL, UFC. This is an absolute no-brainer. I'm curious why it's only $99, but I didn't make the decision. So take advantage, I guess is what I'll say. Sometimes good deals kind of come at you when you least expect it. So this is a great deal for you guys. I'll just say I don't know if it's a great deal for us. So, anyway, take advantage of it. Dog days of summer, but we're going to be making money off of MMA. All right, Jesus Pinedo and Gabriel Braga. Pinedo had the big, long layoff, came out, got the knockout against Borics. This is a rematch from a couple years ago. I think the big thing here is, Pinedo's had one fight since their rematch. Braga's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you want to talk about rust versus rest here. What's your take on Braga being the underdog in this one?
Braga is plus 220 right now.
Yeah.
All right, here's my hot take of the week. Pinedo's not as good as everybody thinks he is. The man hasn't been able to get to the cage half the time. Okay? I know he comes back and he gets the knockout against Adam Borics. I thought he looked horrible before he got the knockout. He looked wide open. He didn't look technical at all. I know that's not his game. Relax, everyone. He is a brawler. However, where is the well-roundedness to this kid's game? What has he done since he burst on the scene that you said, wow, the strides made? He gets the knockout over what PFL's darling, the decision machine. Pull up Pinedo for me before I stumble over all my words. He gets the knockout over Brendan Loughnane.
Oh,
right?
Loughnane, yeah,
the big
yeah.
upset. He
Huge
fights
upset.
Bubba Jenkins when Bubba Jenkins doesn't show up prepared. Okay? And he missed weight in that fight, let's not forget. Pinedo missed weight, still took it. Loses the split to Braga, comes back, beats Braga. Took him till round 3 to get the finish, keep in mind. Okay? Now, Braga wasn't winning that fight. It was probably going to be a decision, but these guys have spent a lot of time together. And then he gets the finish over Borics, who we don't believe in. Now let's go to Gabriel Braga. What has this man done since that first fight? And this is where
stronger,
I just don't
better,
understand the
bigger. It's just gotten better.
Bigger, faster, stronger. Has faced adversity. Has faced losses in his personal life. And he has come back each and every time looking better and better and better and better. The loss against Kizriev, nobody is beating Kizriev. Okay? It's just not happening. You cannot hold that against anybody. If Pinedo takes that fight, he ends up on his back for 15 minutes. That's going to happen. And let's also, I'll say it, split against Kizriev. Split.
Yeah.
I think these lines are just insane. This is a pick'em fight if I have ever seen one. I think all of the upside is on Braga. Braga is motivated for this loss. If you guys watched the last show, when they put these two guys in the ring and they sized up, you saw an improvement in the size with Braga. He is thicker. He is bigger. I thought it was very telling that he gets into the choke against Dupross and then says, okay, my turn. Now I'm going to submit you. Everyone thinks I'm a knockout artist. Now I'm going to choke you out. There is an air about this guy. He is over the loss of his father. He's fighting motivated. Keep in mind, this is his third tournament with PFL. He's had more fights in PFL. I love Braga. If this line continues to climb, I mean, how can you not take Braga? I think the number's lunacy against with Pinedo.
I loved what he did in the last fight where they bring in Dupross, who's the ground specialist, and Braga says, oh, yeah? I'm going to submit you on the ground. That was insane, man. That was absolutely insane. What if we get Pinedo on the ground? What if we see some of that? I think Braga's just leaps and bounds better than when they fought the first time. So I agree that Braga in the upset. I don't even think it's an upset if he wins. So I'm a big Braga fan. So main event, Jason Jackson. I think it's probably my favorite nickname in all of pro sports right now, or in MMA. I mean, the ass kicking machine. It just doesn't get better than that. My favorite is still the axe murderer. Just because you're not allowed to bring an axe. I didn't know if you knew this, Jim. You're not allowed to bring an axe into the octagon. But as far as the ass kicking machine is, I laugh every time they advertise it. So I'll make my analysis short and sweet. Jason Jackson, I think I think he's unstoppable at this point in his career with the guys that they haven't matched up again. You want to wrestle, he can wrestle. You want to strike, he can strike. You want cardio, he'll give you cardio. Thad Jean, I just think he just doesn't quite have the well-rounded, just sets the well-roundedness, the diversification of all of his strikes. He hasn't really been pushed to the test against a guy like Jason Jackson. I think this is going to be a really good learning experience for Thad Jean. The fact is, against Berkhamov, yeah, he got the finish. He also had some moments where he was losing parts of it. And Jason Jackson, I think, is going to melt him over the course of 3 rounds. I think it's going to be great for Thad Jean. It's going to be a real learning experience. All these guys have to go through it. But I kind of hate that they're fighting now in this part. I would like to see him go a little bit further. But Thad Jean's got a really bright future, but I think he runs into a pretty big wall here. I think Jason Jackson, possible late finish. I wonder if Thad's got the cardio. I wonder if Jason Jackson just pushes him into deep waters and Thad's like, nope, too much for me. So I got Jason Jackson. Maybe lean finish inside the distance, not go the distance, but I'll keep it simple and just pick Jackson as the winner.
Thad Jean is going to bring a lot of young man energy in that first round. A lot of extra movement. And he better, because if he stands still, Jason Jackson is going to double leg him across the cage so fast, then put him up against the cage and outside trip him and end up on top, and then that's going to be all she wrote for the round. I just don't see Thad having the skills to get back up. He might defend the takedowns. It's fine. Mm-hmm. Jason Jackson doesn't have the best takedowns. Guess what? Jason Jackson doesn't care if he defends the takedown. Guess what he's going to do next? He's going to take down again. He's going to go for the takedown again. It's just what he's going to do. This is just a prime case of all the hype being on Thad Jean and the knockout power, and we have seen this story how many times. Give me the fighter who can wrestle over the guy who's got knockout power. Yeah. You are so dependent on landing the perfect shot. But the guy who wrestles can get on top if you trip when you kick. The smallest of errors can lend to Jason Jackson getting on top. I think it's a decision. Thad Jean will have a good showing of himself. I think he is going to have the cardio for 1 and 2. And at that point, Jason Jackson's just going to cruise if he's up 2-0. If he's clearly up 2-0, he'll stay safe. He'll be a veteran, and he'll get to the end there. I agree with you. I don't believe anybody can stop Jason Jackson. If he gets past this, we're looking at Jason Jackson against Logan Storley.
Oh.
And I'm Jason Jackson all day. I think he's the uncrowned champion. Also, a good thing with PFL is count the number of promo videos for the fighter.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
You can kind of tell who they want to win.
Yeah.
Who's got the money behind him.
Yeah.
Jason Jackson's week, it was maybe 7 minutes of promo time for Jackson. It was insane. So, give me Jackson. I think Thad learns from this and comes back stronger.
I do, too. That's what's scary. Is if Thad Jean loses a decision, then learns from it and comes back, and you're like,
he's got all the potential in the world.
He's good.
Potential in the world.
He's really good. So, very charismatic, too. I mean, this guy's got a very, very bright future. It's a potential star. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for us for PFL. I believe we're going to try and do a takedown live on Thursday night. We're going to watch the fights live on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel. So, want to join us, and maybe we'll find some live bets. Not as many live bets in PFL as there are in UFC. So some of these fights get pretty one-sided very, very quick. But it's a good watch along. We'll watch all of our bets, and if we do find one good live line, show's completely worth it. So hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and again, take advantage of that 30 days for only $99. Get you all 5%. 4% every play, including PFL and UFC. It's going to do it for us. Good luck on all your bets, and take care.
Good luck, guys.